Hey, it's Gerald here. And before we jump into this video, first thing first, you probably could tell, but I'm gonna just say it. This won't be one of those fancy videos. There will actually be no editing to this video, so you may hear me burp, stutter. You may hear a call passing by, and if that happens, let's just remember I'm human. But with that being said, nonetheless, you're gonna get a ton of value in this video. I'm gonna give an extremely in-depth process to start making sales for you to apply to your art career instantly. Now, I know there's a lot of just shenanigans online, so it gets really hard to trust or believe what's real and what's not. So before I even start giving the tactics to selling your art online, I'm gonna show just a few of the artists I work with, some of the results that they achieve. As you can see, this is my screen is live at the moment. I can refresh this if it let me refresh. Boom, if it loads here. Okay, so as you can see, this is my screen. But I'm not here to try to convince you of anything. The goal is just so you know, at least have some type of idea that it's safe to say I probably know a thing or two at this point when it comes to selling artwork. So you kind of trust what I say, so you can apply it, so you can get results. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But with that being said, in this video, what I'm gonna do is three things. I'm gonna show some of the artists I work with, so you know you're in the right place if you're an artist and you want to make sales. I'm gonna give you a step-by-step process here. I mean a step-by-step process, and all you have to do is apply it. And you apply it, you're gonna make sales. That's it. And then thing number three, anywhere going at any point going through this process, you think I want to see about working with me directly. I'll put a link below this video if you want to schedule a call with myself and my team. So that's it. Pretty straightforward. What I have, and they may be wondering like, what's the benefits for me in this video? Well, hopefully at some point you subscribe to the channel or schedule a call with my team. Any one of those things will make me really happy. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump straight into it. So I'm gonna just search up some of my own artists I work with here. This is Sarah. I'm not gonna read anyone personal questions in the group, but I'll show you some of my artists. So, like for example, let's start with Sarah May Hollis. These are artists who follow the same process that I teach. You can see here, she just says I'm being paid £23,000 for three paintings, which is 26,000 USD. Pretty cool for Sarah. You can see here she says for perspective, her original goal was 1,500 pounds per month. This was a pretty lengthy post. She talks about some personal things. As you can see here, she says, and then I believe in myself. I have to confront many doubts and insecurities. I'm not going to open this up because it's pretty personal. But as you can see here, if I scroll down, Sarah started working with me back in freaking January. That's when she got started, saying, "Hey everybody, my name is Sarah. Her goal was 8,000 a month." And then you can see if I scroll up here, just in May, so from January to May, she had her first 20,000. This actually ended up being a $30,000 a month, which is cool. So the process you're gonna learn, you'll see that it actually works. Let me show you. This is 80 comments from other artists I work with. If I was to open these comments up, if it loads ever. Okay, so you can see these are everybody just saying, congrats, you're freaking amazing. I love you. But seriously, still a ton of different comments. These are all the artists who work with. They congratulate each other, they inspire each other. For example, like this is Shaz. I just did an interview with Shaz on my channel not too long ago. But this is Shaz here. Let's see if it loads. I clicked on Shaz's profile. Okay, Shaz, you can see here she do some pretty cool stuff as well. See, sell for 3,000, sell for 1,000. She had her first 20,000. Let's check a final post. She shared it with the group. She made a sell every single day for a certain amount of days, which was pretty cool. Feel free to read this post if you want to pause it. Once again, the goal here is to show you, like, if you apply this process I'm about to share with you, you're going to get results. Simple. The same artists here apply the same process. Now, of course, just being transparent, the process that they have is extremely more in depth, right? This is going to probably be like a 15-minute video. They take 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks typically to learn the things I teach. So obviously it's much more in depth. But you can see here from February 10th to March 12th, Shaz ended up doing $23,000 in art sales, which is roughly 1 month. So kudos to Shaz, which is pretty amazing. But just like Shash, you'll see many other artists who work with hitting these same or similar numbers, following the same process, having some pretty cool things happening in their all career. So these are some of the artists we just work with at the moment. Like for example, if I type in, let's see, Dana. Here's Dana Wilcher. You can see here. Let me see if I can find her beginning post with me. Okay, here it is. You can see here. She says, "My name is Dana Wilcher. Live in Austin, Texas. Her goal was 10,000 a month. She joined in February, and then you can see here in May, which is February, March, May. So you can say 3-4 months. She had her first $20,000 month. So you can see she sold this piece for 7,800. Then she says, I've sold 12,000 in commissions, another 700 in prints, which is pretty cool. Feel free to read this if you want. I'm not going to read this. Once again, that's if you want to read it, you can read it. But once again, the goal is just to show you like what's possible if you actually apply the process I'm about to share with you. I'll make this the last one. So this is Caitlin Snelling. I talked about her quite a bit. You can see Caitlin did $13,750 in a day. Feel free to read this if you want. Once again, 14,000 in one day, $20,000 a month, which was pretty cool for Caitlin. And then last, I had to show Shakaya Leon. I know I say Caitlin was going to be last. I know there's going to be someone here that says, but I'm an abstract artist. So just so like abstract art like this. This is here's Shaz. You can see she's pretty abstract when it comes to her work. Sold this for 3,000. You can see here she says in January she did 20,000, and then December. I'm sorry, and then in January I'm all over the place. In December she did. That's when she started working with me, and March was her second $20,000 month, which was pretty cool for Shakaya Leon. So with that being said, I'm going to go back and then we're going to get to the process. Now that you know, as long as you apply this process, you could do some pretty amazing things like these current artists do that I work with. So I get back to the main screen here. Okay. So in this video, we're going to talk about a step-by-step process you can simply follow to make sales. You're going to hear a lot of people online, these quote-unquote gurus or experts or anything like that. It's going to give you these complicated strategies or plans to make sales. And honestly, it's just all ridiculous. I don't ever talk about like other people companies or something or anything like that, because I feel like if that's what you do, that's what you do. But as you can see here, I'm about to tell you what works based on actual results. As you can see, these artists are doing $20,000 months. So if they could do 20,000 a month, you can do 3,000-4,000 if you want. Excuse me. I warned you guys about the belching and the stuttering and the cars passing. So bear with me. So with that being said, let's jump straight into it. When it comes to selling, there's only 3 things you need to focus on. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. By the way, at this point, you should probably grab pen and paper. So 3 things you need to focus on. That's it. You focus on these 3 things, and if you can master these 3 things, then you will always achieve the one main thing. The one main thing is selling your artwork, right, at the prices you want to sell them for. So I'm going to get straight into it. First thing first, I'm going to say one more thing. Before we get into it, you're going to hear me say some stuff you probably heard before. But one thing I teach my artists is not what you say, is how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how it's done. That's very important. 2 people could say the same thing or do the same thing, but the way they apply it is completely different and leads to one person making 20,000 a month and the other person making 2,000 a month. So keep that in mind. You may hear some things you probably heard before, but the details makes all of the difference. So with that being said, let's get back to it. First thing first, you need to understand exactly who your buyers will be in detail, right? Now, people fly past this. All artists say my buyers are those who have money, is collectors, is those who love art, anything like that. And in reality, that's not your buyers. You need to really identify who your buyers are. I describe buyers in 2 ways. It's those who are going to love your work and have the money to afford your work. They have to meet these 2 things. That's it. Now, when they meet these 2 things, they're ideal buyer. But how do you figure that out? Well, first thing first, you need to ask yourself, what do your artwork represent? That's first. What do your artwork represent? Now, once you can figure out what your artwork represent, what's the meaning behind your artwork, then you can lead to the next question. Based on what my artwork represent, who would be that ideal buyer? And this comes with another series of questions. Here are the important questions you want to ask. 1, what are those buyers are passionate about? What are your ideal buyers passionate about? 2, what do they stand for? 3, what do they stand against? And then 4, what are the most important things to them in this world? You ask those questions, you're going to find out who your buyer is based off of emotion, based off of drive. And these are the things that get people to purchase. So that's first thing first. You want to ask that question and break that down and really identify exactly who your buyer would be. If you do this in detail, it's going to make step 2 really easy. So, step 2. Step 2, you have to understand exactly where they're hanging out at online. Now, in today's time, your buyers could be on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Discord groups. There are buyers everywhere. However, I'm personally not a fan of TikTok, just mainly because I feel like the audience is still a bit young. Don't get me wrong, I have some clients who just absolutely dominate on TikTok. But my favorite 2 platforms are Facebook and Instagram. For the example, we're going to just strictly talk about Instagram, right? So if you understand exactly in detail who your buyers would be, the second thing is ask yourself, what do that buyer hang out at online based off of what you just described? So if you're on Instagram, you need to be thinking about who, right? Who are they most likely following? This don't include hashtags. This don't include email lists. This don't include complicated funnels or fancy websites. Simply just ask yourself, who will your buyer be following? And then at that point, once you understand who your buyer will be following, let's say this person on Instagram who have 97,000 followers, right? And she's an influencer and she just care about animal, I don't know, saving animals. Now you realize your work is about animals as well. So then you find that influencer, most likely your buyers are following them. Now, if you think of a creative way, I'm not going to go into how to do this. This is for you to figure out. I'm here to get an overall game plan. When you think of a creative way to collaborate with that influencer, then that influencer and your artwork will be in front of 97,000 potential buyers overnight, instantly. That simple. Now, right now, you'll probably be thinking, holy crap, this is it. It makes sense, right? And it do. But implementation is an entirely different ball game. It's actually getting it done and doing it, right? So this is what you want to do. You want to think about how you could potentially collaborate with that influencer. They have all the leverage. So what can you offer them to get them to post your work or for you guys to do a collaboration, right? Let's say you master that part, you're on your way. Let's say things go well. Step 3, we have to secure the sale. You could do 1 and 2, right? But if you don't secure the sale, you basically just waste your time, right? So here's the thing, and this is very important. This is the one thing everyone would tell you not to do. Or they tell you to do the opposite. But if you actually ask anyone who's telling you to do the opposite, they're not actually getting results. I just showed you guys like 5 different artists or so who's doing $20,000 months applying this process. So with that being said, whatever you do, do not send them to a website. If you send your buyer to a website, they're going to see a ton of your artwork. Options leads to no sales. But on top of that, they're going to get distracted and they're never going to purchase. Instead, you must have a direct conversation with them. If you have a conversation with that potential buyer, then that's going to lead to you guys building what's called rapport. Now, a lot of people confuse this with rapport. Rapport just means to build a strong relationship with somebody. That's spelled Rapport. Rapport. Now, if you could build rapport with somebody, they're more likely to do business with you, aka purchase your artwork. So imagine someone saying, "Oh my God, whatever your name may be, I love your work. It's beautiful. Is it for sale?" From that point, you take that to a direct conversation. You talk to them, build a genuine relationship with them. Keyword genuine. You're not a salesperson. Don't try to be salesy. Do not try to force anything on anyone. Build a genuine relationship with them. After that, if it seems right, ask them if they want to purchase. What's going to happen? Majority of people are going to say no. Some people are going to say yes. If you get into conversation with a ton of people in a week, you can land 5 sales at just $250 each. That's a $1,250 a week. Repeat that for the rest of the month. That's a $5,000 month. This is how my artists go from zero to $5,000 a month in literally 2 months or 3 months. And some of them go from zero to 20,000 in 4 months, following this same process. Now, you may be thinking, okay, I got it, draw it. I got the blueprint. What's the details? What do I say in this conversation? How do I have this conversation? How do I get them interested? What if they do say yes to purchase? How do I handle shipping? How do I go about these things? At this point, my job here is to give you the overall concept, the blueprint, and now you know what to do. You just have to figure out how to actually do it. Along with that, if you're like, okay, I've been creating art for some time now, I'm tired of trying to figure this out on my own. Droid, can you just tell me exactly what to do? Like, can you tell me who are my buyers? Can you tell me where they're hanging out at? Can you tell me word for word what should I say to get them to purchase? The answer to that is yes, I can. For that to happen, you have to schedule a call with my team. If we end up working together, it costs. I'm not here to try to trick anyone into anything. It do cost. It's an investment. If we do work together, I personally believe I don't have right to anyone money if they're not seeing results from the training we provide. So with that being said, we do have a guarantee. It's a 120-day guarantee. And if you're not making sales those first 120 days, you do have access to your money back. So it's literally nothing to lose. This is for artists who basically don't want to go through the trial and error stage. Nothing's wrong with the trial and error stage. It just takes time. And for those who just want to do it right the first time, right? If you just want me to just hand all of the details to you, you could just apply it like some of the artists I showed here to get results, then I'll show a few more. Then that's what you can do. For example, this is my artist, Mike Salvin. After COVID hit, they ended up slowing down a ton with sales, and they just wanted to figure out how to get the ball back rolling again. As you can see here, from November 28th to January 18th, which is about a month and a half, they end up doing 44,000 in art sales following this process, which is pretty sweet, cool, whatever you want to call it. All right. So with that being said, if you want to schedule a call, once again, I'll put a link below. Definitely subscribe to the channel. No one is sharing this information online. So I want to be the guy that just provided actual value and talk about the things that not just people are saying because everyone is saying it, because that's what's going on in this space. Everyone is saying you need a website, use hashtags, build an emailing list. But the gurus who are telling you that you need these things are only telling you that you need these things is because that's what they're seeing. So it's just one person's following another person with no actual results. The process we teach is bulletproof. All you have to do is apply it. So with that being said, once again, hope you find this valuable. If you do choose to schedule a call with my team, it's a pretty chill call. It's not a sales call. Hopefully you can feel that I'm super chill. My team is chill. If we can help, great. If not, we'll still give you a blueprint to help you. And that's really it. I hope you find this valuable. I know it's not your typical YouTube video, but I might start doing more of these. Tell me what you think about that. With that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing you on the call. And also I'm looking forward to those who choose to just apply the process on their own. Either way, it's a win situation. Peace.